Imagine being trapped in a state of unconsciousness for 2 entire decades, with your body seemingly disconnected from the world around you. What if, during those 20 years, you could still experience a profound connection to the divine, a connection so powerful that it transcended the physical realm? This is the extraordinary story of Father Aimilianos, a monk whose life defies human understanding, a man who spent nearly 20 years in a coma yet remained spiritually alive and devoted to Christ. But what was the one thing that he did during those years of silence? Was it simply a passive existence, or was there something deeper at work? Father Aimilianos' journey into the depths of spiritual communion during his comatose years will leave you in awe as we explore a tale of unwavering faith, silent devotion, and the transformative power of the Eucharist. Father Aimilianos was born in 1934 in Nicaea, Piraeus, to a pious family of Greek descent, with roots tracing back to Asia Minor. His parents instilled in him a deep spiritual devotion, and his grandmother's influence played a significant role in shaping his faith. Both of his grandmothers, who had led austere lives and later became nuns, served as profound examples of monasticism, and this legacy stayed with him throughout his life. After studying at the University of Athens, initially pursuing law and later theology, Aimilianos decided to dedicate his life to God. His desire to become a missionary led him to seek refuge in monastic life first, beginning at the monastery of Varlam at Meteora, where he took his monastic vows in 1960, becoming Aimilianos. In 1973, Father Aimilianos was elected as the Father Superior of Simonopetra Monastery on Mount Athos, one of the holiest and most revered places in Eastern Orthodoxy. This marked the beginning of a transformative period for the monastery, where Father Aimilianos' spiritual leadership began to shape the future of the community. His calling to the Holy Mountain was more than just a position. It was a divine mission to restore the deep traditions of monasticism and forge a strong, united brotherhood. Father Aimilianos' leadership went beyond mere administration. He infused the monastery with a profound sense of spirituality and devotion. Simonopetra, under his guidance, became a beacon of faith, a place of renewal where the life of the Spirit took precedence over worldly concerns. His deep commitment to the monastic way of life attracted many to the monastery, and Father Aimilianos tirelessly worked to build a solid foundation for the brotherhood. He did this by fostering a culture of humility, prayer, and communal living, in which each monk was encouraged to grow in their relationship with Christ and each other. During this time, Father Aimilianos was not just a leader, he was a father to all who came under his care. He imparted wisdom through personal example, teaching his spiritual children the virtues of love, patience, and unwavering faith. His teachings were deeply rooted in the rich tradition of Orthodox monasticism, which emphasized prayer, humility, and an ascetic lifestyle. The wisdom he shared was practical and experiential, born of his own spiritual journey and his constant quest to draw nearer to God. His influence extended well beyond the monastery walls, forming meaningful relationships with other great spiritual fathers of the time, including Father Paisios and Father Ephraim. With Father Paisios, known for his deep spirituality and guidance, Father Aimilianos formed a bond rooted in mutual respect and a shared vision for monastic renewal. Their friendship and collaboration enriched the broader monastic community of Mount Athos, as they collectively nurtured the lives of countless spiritual seekers who came to the holy mountain in search of truth. Father Aimilianos' connection with Father Ephraim, another revered spiritual father, was marked by a shared understanding of the importance of repentance, prayer, and humility in the monastic life. Their relationship, built on mutual reverence and love for the Church, played a vital role in the restoration of the traditional values that had once been lost in many parts of the Orthodox world. The friendships and spiritual bonds that Father Aimilianos forged with these great fathers were more than just intellectual exchanges. They were the result of a deep, mystical communion with God. Together, they became an influential part of a movement that sought to bring Orthodox monasticism back to its roots and renew the flame of faith in a world that was increasingly losing its spiritual bearings. Through his relationship with these figures, Father Aimilianos exemplified the heart of Orthodox monasticism, living out his vocation with selflessness, compassion, and unwavering devotion to God. In the early 1990s, Father Aimilianos' health began to rapidly deteriorate, marking the beginning of an unimaginable journey that would span nearly 2 decades. By 1995, his condition had worsened to the point where he could no longer fulfill his duties as Father Superior. His once vibrant spirit, filled with passion for guiding his monastic community, faced a silent battle in the form of a severe physical decline. In 2000, Father Aimilianos withdrew to the Aemilia Dependency Convent, seeking solace and prayer amidst the overwhelming challenges he faced. It was here, at this quiet corner of the Holy Mountain, that Father Aimilianos would experience a profound transformation, one that would redefine the understanding of faith and devotion for those who knew him. As his health continued to decline, Father Aimilianos' body gradually failed him. In time, he entered a near 20-year coma, his physical form locked in stillness. Yet, even in this state, his spirit remained ever active. While unable to speak, move, or communicate with the outside world, his unwavering faith continued to shine. The journey of Father Aimilianos, now marked by silence, became a testament to the power of the soul to transcend the physical world. In his coma, he experienced a spiritual continuity that defied the expectations of the world. Amidst this profound state of near death, there emerged a powerful and mystical connection to the divine, a moment of spiritual clarity that occurred only once in those long years of unconsciousness. Each time the Eucharist, the body and blood of Christ, was administered to Father Aimilianos, something remarkable happened. Despite being unresponsive to the world around him, his body seemed to react to the sacred offering. It is said that every time the wine and bread, the symbols of Christ's blood and flesh, were shared with him, Father Aimilianos would smile, tears filling his eyes. This powerful moment became a symbol of his deep, unshakable connection to Christ, even in the midst of his suffering. For 20 years, this was the only time Father Aimilianos could express any form of response. His smile, filled with both tears and joy, was a silent but profound acknowledgement of the divine love and grace he was receiving. It was in this sacred moment of communion that Father Aimilianos found solace and strength, even when his body had failed him and the world had seemingly forgotten his presence. Those who visited him during these years, including his spiritual children and the monks who cared for him, spoke of this miraculous smile as one of complete peace, a transcendent expression of joy that went beyond the physical world. It was as if the veil between heaven and earth had thinned for just a moment, allowing Father Aimilianos to experience the ultimate union with Christ. His smile was not just a response to the ritual, it was a testimony to the enduring power of faith and the love of God, even in the most challenging of circumstances. For Father Aimilianos, this silent communion with Christ, shared through the body and blood, was the one thing that continued to sustain him, even as his physical body remained in a state of near-perpetual slumber. It was through this sacred act that his soul found peace, hope, and a deep connection to the divine, leaving behind a legacy of faith that will continue to inspire generations of believers. Even in his final years, Father Aimilianos embodied humility and selflessness, never seeking fame or acknowledgement. His entire life was focused on placing the Lord before him, facing life's hardships with grace, calm, and joy. His journey was not one of outward accomplishments, but one of deep inner devotion to God, which flowed through his every action. He never wavered in his commitment to the monastic life, fully dedicated to serving God and his community with love. Father Aimilianos passed away on January 13, 2019, but his legacy lives on. It lives in the monasteries he helped nurture, in the hearts of the people he touched, and in the spiritual lives of those who followed his example. His story is one of unwavering faith, a life entirely dedicated to God, and the incredible depth of his connection with Christ. Father Aimilianos' life challenges us all to deepen our faith and trust in the Lord, reminding us that even in silence, the Spirit can speak louder than words. His legacy encourages us to find joy in communion with Christ, no matter the circumstances. May we all strive to live with the same unwavering faith, humility, and devotion that marked his incredible life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Father Aimilianos. May his example inspire you to seek a deeper connection with God and reflect on the power of silent, steadfast devotion. If you found this story moving, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Until next time, may peace and faith guide your path.